Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interactions. We have the 2020 feature, Sports with Brian Camp, and Entertainment News with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Here we are, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and I tell you, it just goes by so quick, the week. And we're back here once again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. We're going to be with you for a whole full hour. And my name is Frank Allan, and I'm your host as usual. We're here every Friday at this time. And those of you who are joining us for the first time, the idea of the show is to get everybody involved in conversation, of course. And as the host of the show, I will start that off. And if you feel like saying anything in particular, all you have to do is just let your fingers do the walking. I will see right there on the big screen, whatever you said or whatever you're talking about. You can make up your conversations. If there's something in particular you like to talk about, we will absolutely oblige you and we'll entertain your thoughts and ideas and opinions. And of course, you'll see other people who will come in. Friends and family and someone you may know. They're all here. So thank you so much for joining us. And those of you who are here for, been here for all of this time, we thank you so much for joining us for another Friday. Now, a lot of you may be at work right now and into your coffee break. Well, you know what to do, right? Take the coffee break, take that 15-minute coffee break that you're allotted to, sit at your desk, watch the show, and then after the 15 minutes is up, then you can go back to doing whatever you do. Only this time they call it multitasking, and this way you could watch the show and work at the same time. And I like to tell you that all of us are coming here live from New York City. That's where we originate. And of course, all of you who are watching, keep in mind that we come from 3 different places. You may be watching us on one of them. One of them is Facebook Live. We're here on YouTube as well, and we're here live on Instagram. And those of you who are watching, I just want to say hi to you. You may be idle. And like I said, you can join in. But if you don't want to join in, that's okay too, as long as you're there. And we hope that you take the full hour and spend it with us, wherever you are, because there's nowhere on God's green earth that you can go without catching us. We're all around the world. We're global. And that's why we're here to enjoy. Later on in the program, we've got, as a matter of fact, just a couple of minutes from now, we have our 2020 feature. However, Brian Camp is going to be here earlier in just about a couple of minutes with a sports update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. We're going to connect with him from Charlotte, North Carolina. And he's going to give us all of that. There's a lot to talk about. Super Bowl is over now, and then other things are coming along too. So we're going to be talking about that. So he'll be here a little early, just a few minutes, just a couple of minutes. Just hang in there. You get to see him. You get to meet him. Those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you won't be able to see him, but you'll hear him just as well. And 22 the hour, usually DJ Pete comes in. And he has the news for entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. DJ Pete is a little under the weather today, so he can't be here, but he left us information and we're going to relay all of that to you coming 22 the hour. Also later on in the program, I have the usual routine that we give you all of those great movies that you love so much. We talk about those great classic movies from Turner Classic Movies. I have a few of them. And I just want to add to your bucket list because each week I take the opportunity of using those movies and bringing them along because a lot of you like to take the weekend to do whatever you like to do. And one of them may be checking out some of your favorite movies, old movies, new movies, whatever. But I'm going to add some of your movies to the bucket list of things to watch. And I think you'll like that. That's all coming up. And as I said, you're here and we're there. And those of you who desire to join us in conversation, we, of course, open that. We're open to that. And those of you who are there just idling, that's okay too. And it's okay. Everything is okay. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, YouTube, Zoom, I just say YouTube, Zoom, and other broadcast facilities and social media outlets. So all of that is taken out of the way. So ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our cups. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? Excuse me while I shoot up. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. I can't wait to get another sip of that. And I'm going to do that right now. But before I do that, I am going to bring on Brian Camp here. Like I said, he's here earlier now, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. His part of the 2020 feature actually is 5 after the hour right now. So he's going to be here early right now and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. When he comes in, when he pops in, we'll get a chance to see him. There he is right there, I think. Oh, wait, we lost him. We lost track of him. Okay. He was connected, but we lost him. Okay, he'll come back in. He'll come back in. And in the meantime, those of you who want to chime in, please give us your weather forecast. You want to chime in conversation? We'd like for you to give us your weather forecast. You know why? Because we would like to share it with everyone. Because my weather may be different from yours different from mine, and we like to toss it around and share it around a little bit. And for those of you who are living in the New York area, don't worry about it because I will take care of that. You dodged a bullet. And that weather forecast is going to be coming in just a few minutes. Okay, I think Brian reconnected with us. So we're going to see how his, yeah, there he is right there. He dropped out a bit, but he's always back. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great. I may drop out, but I'm going to drop right back in. I'm going to find a way to get in. Good morning to you, to everybody out there. Hope all is well. Hope everybody is having their hangovers over now from the Super Bowl. But congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. But first, I want to give you my weather. It's Charlotte. It is raining. We're going to have rain from now until 1 p.m. today, but it is nice. It is weather-wise. It is 64 degrees, going up to 67. So we're supposed to be having a nice, pleasant weekend. So we hope that everything will be all as well with you and everybody else. Morning to Pete, if he's watching, and everybody else. Well, let me get to the sports. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. They are now the Super Bowl champions of Super Bowl 57 with a 38-35 victory. I predicted 35-31, but I was close. But 38-35, they won the game. They are Super Bowl champs for the third time. It became the third most watched Super Bowl. An estimated 113 million viewers have watched the Super Bowl. So congratulations to them. Sad news in sports, Tim McCarver, a longtime baseball player who played in 4 decades. He played in 1959, all of the 60s, all the 70s, and retired in 1980. Had passed away at the age of 81. Our prayers and condolences to his family. After he finished playing ball, he was a legendary announcer for Fox Sports, covering all-star games, baseball games, and most importantly, the World Series with Joe Buck. Joe Buck, yes. And he'll be missed calling his games. So died peacefully with his family at his side yesterday in Memphis, Tennessee. So there we have it. Today in sports, this day in sports, February 17th, 1941, New York Yankee Joe DiMaggio enlisted to the U.S. Army. 1974, 49 people was killed in a stampede for seats at a soccer match in Cairo, Egypt. In 1995, Detroit Tiger manager Sparky Anderson takes an unpaid leave due to baseball strike. And in 2016, Nike ends the relations with boxer Manny Pacquiao after TV comments about gays. Yeah, he opened up his mouth and he lost a big endorsement. Birthdays today, 1908, Red Barber, famous Yankee announcer and other baseball announcers that he did, broadcaster. He was a famous broadcaster, like I said, was born in Columbus, Mississippi. And today we celebrate his birthday. Today also is the birthday of, in 1936, of Jim Brown, the greatest running back of all time, running back, actor, born in St. Simons, Georgia. Now, I'm pretty sure you had opened up with the loss of Raquel Welch, and it's seemingly that these two went hand in hand. They played in a movie together called, I believe it's called Rifles. I believe it was called Rifles, and they played in together. And today we celebrate his birthday and the loss of Raquel Welch early this week. So Jim Brown, running back, famous actor, running back, football star, activist as well. Also today's birthday, 1963, Michael Jordan, who's considered the greatest basketball player of all time, was born in Brooklyn, New York. A lot of people don't realize he was born in Brooklyn, New York, and he moved to North Carolina at a very early age. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. Before I end the program, I have a Black History moment. Bill Russell, remember him? Yes, Bill Russell, a legendary activist, basketball player, good human being. His resume speaks for itself. He won 11 NBA titles in 13 years, 5-time NBA MVP awards, Olympic gold medal, and a 12-time NBA All-Star also as well. He did a lot of things great for humanity. He received the President Medal of Freedom Award. It was President Obama had given him the award, and he received that. He was a 2-time NCAA college basketball champion. He also refused to wear his Hall of Fame ring. He never went to the ceremony when he was back in 1975 when he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. He felt that a player named Earl Cooper, who was the first African American to play in the NBA, should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So he refused to receive his Hall of Fame ring. It took him many years until like 2018 when he finally did receive it. Cooper was inducted into the Hall of Fame. It took him a long, long time. You know, Bill Russell went through a lot. You know, he played for the city of Boston back in those days. You know, even though it may be Black history, but it is American history as well. He went through a lot of racial slurs. His house was vandalized, death threats, couldn't eat at certain places, and he fought. And this is why he never received the ring. He never went to Boston Garden. It took him a long time to go back to Boston Garden. So we honor him for his effort in social justice, and he was a great player, a great man, and we salute him today on this moment of Black history. But it's also, like I said, it is history. So he was born in Louisiana, February 12th. He just celebrated a birthday too. He was born in 1934, and he just celebrated a birthday. He passed away last summer, July 31st of 2022 at the age of 88. And what the NBA did for him, they for this season alone, every basketball player wore the number 6 on the side of their jersey. That number will never be worn again in the NBA. Something similar to what Jackie Robinson, number 42, will never be worn again as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a rainy day here in the Queen City of Charlotte.
Did he not wear that ring out of protest? Was that what that was?
It was out of protest because he felt that he could not be the one to accept the ring. He felt that it was other people, it was other players that was before him deserved to have that. Let me see if I have that in my notes. It was other players, but Earl Cooper was the first. He was the first player, but it was other players as well who should have been recognized. I don't have it with me right now, but he did eventually wear the ring. He did get it, but he felt that Earl Cooper should have been paid homage to this great feat and everything. So he did wear it out. He did not wear it out of protest. He did not receive it. But then later on, he did with the help of former NBA players like Alonzo Mourning and Ann Myers and a lot of other close people.
Peaceful protest, and it has nothing to do with any police brutality or anything like that. Because I was going to say, if he had done that today, he would have probably been crucified. But that was a peaceful protest. He did it out of paying homage to a man in the NBA.
Yes, yes, yeah, it was, which is a good thing. But he also was involved with the Cleveland Summit.
Mm-hmm.
We all seen that famous picture of Bill Russell, Jim Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and all of them. Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali. Yeah, they was all sitting at the summit table and everything. Yeah, so the '60s was something. The '60s was something. As his famous quote was like, he doesn't play for the city of Boston. He plays for the Boston Celtics. That was his team. Yeah. So
okay, well, basketball lingers on. It's still around. Football is over, and we get ready to gear up for baseball. That's coming up pretty soon. I can't wait for that. That's coming up pretty soon.
Yes, and we're about to have basketball soon as well too. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So basketball is coming up with the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Baseball, they should be reporting soon for catches and pitches as well. Some of them are coming in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks great. It looks great. All right, Brian. Well, we can catch you back here next week.
Okay.
You say it's raining over there where you are, right?
It's raining, yes.
Well, you sent some.
But it's going to stop. But it's going to stop around 1 o'clock today.
Well, you send some over here, and I think it's going to stop later on too. We'll see. Anyway,
okay.
Listen. Anyway, you have a great weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian is here every week at this time. Well, usually it's later, but he has things to do, so he requested that he would come on a little bit early. And so we like to, accommodate our people here, if they can't make it or whatever. It's just like DJ Pete, under the weather today, but he sent us his information. We'll have that later on. So Brian just wrapped up his part of the 2020 feature at 5 minutes past the hour when he came on. But DJ Pete, his feature is coming up at 20 to the hour, and I will be taking care of that. Welcome aboard. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. I want to say hello to Erica, who's watching us on Instagram right now, and say hello to all of you guys out there. Thank you so much. Erica, I don't know, where are you from? Can you tell me where you're from? And can you give me a little weather report? How's the weather in your area? Tell me where you're from. If you're from New York, don't worry about it. I'll take care of that. We got the weather forecast coming up. For those of you who want to chime in conversation, we ask you to do that. That's not mandatory. It's not. We're not twisting your arm about. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But that's something that we always ask people, if they so inclined to do so, is to give us their weather report wherever they are in different parts of the world and around the country, so we could share it with others. Kind of like sharing notes, comparing notes with each other, right? That's the way it is. All right, let's talk about that weather. Speaking of the weather. Now, here in New York, we had some warm days, and we're gonna cool off a bit. And yesterday in the New York area, here where we are, in certain parts of the city, it went up to 70 degrees. We were only expecting like mid 60s, but certain parts it went up to 70 degrees. And so, the weather gets a little crazy sometime. It gets a little crazy sometime. But right now we have 58 degrees. It's after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. It's 58 degrees. That's what we have right now. And we've got our weather forecast. We're going to talk about the weather forecast that's going to take us right throughout the whole entire weekend, because we have a long weekend coming up. Right? And so here's the weather forecast for today. This is what we have today. We have rain becoming windy for the afternoon. We'll have a high 61 degrees. Winds will be west at 20-30 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 90%. Higher gusts will prevail, possible. As I said, the highest will be 61 degrees. We have for tonight, partly cloudy skies, gusty winds during the evening. We'll have a low 29 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 20-30 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts is possible again. And for tomorrow, Saturday, it gets better. The sun is bright, shining. I don't see a cloud in the sky here. Sunny skies, high 46 degrees, winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour for Saturday night. Mainly clear early, then a few clouds will just creep in there like they try to do each time. Later on at night, and we'll have a low 36 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As you get ready to get your Sunday going, some of you want to go out to church or you may want to sleep late. It's going to be cloudy, but you can leave the umbrella home. It doesn't say anything about rain. Cloudy, high 51 degrees. Winds will be south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Sunday night, cloudy skies, low 46. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for your extended day, your extended weekend, because we have a long weekend, it's President's Day, Monday. I don't know what you're going to do Monday. You can do anything you want to do, but some of you may have to work too. But this is how it looks. Cloudy skies. Early will be becoming partly cloudy later on, so there's no umbrella involved in this one. And it'll be cloudy later in the day. We'll have a high 58 degrees, and winds will be west-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Repeating our weather forecast here in New York, repeating the temperature. We have 58 degrees outdoors right now, and it's raining. It's really raining, and hopefully it'll taper off a little bit. We'll see what happens, but tomorrow looks pretty good. Now, what's your weather like? Let me know what your weather's like, because we want to get you involved and tell people about the weather. Brian told us it's raining in Charlotte, North Carolina. We don't get a weather forecast from Portland, Maine, unless, of course, anybody watching from Portland, Maine, you want to give us your weather forecast. We don't hear from DJ Pete. He's under the weather today, so I hope he feels better. I hope DJ Pete feels better today. After today, after this show, maybe he'll feel better after this show is over. Maybe he's a little nauseated. No, whatever it is, we hope that he feels a lot better. Anyway, it's the coffee hour. And, excuse me while I shoot up. It's delicious. As you already know, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the midst of Black History Month. As Brian already mentioned that, he mentioned that already. We're in the midst of that. And of course, a lot of things happen for the rest of the month, as a matter of fact. It's always every February from the first to the end. And this year in February, we have how many days do we have this month? 28 days. We have 28 days this month. All right. February, sometimes you get 29 days, but this year is 28 days. Okay. Anyway, Black History Month is celebrated, and anyone can celebrate it. It's just like pretty soon coming up next month, you have the St. Patrick's Day, and everybody's going to be Irish, so it doesn't hurt. And then Columbus Day, everybody's Italian, and so here we are. It's Black History Month, and everybody's Black, right? Whatever. And so there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to study. There's museums. And let me recommend one to commemorate Black History Month. If you're living in the New York City area or, outside of New York City in the outer boroughs or whatever, go to the Jackie Robinson Museum. That's a good thing to do. I've been there. It's great. I've got to go back there. I gotta tell you, once you visit, you have to, unless you have a whole full day, with nothing to do from the time it opens to the time it closes, unless you have that kind of time, you're going to have to go back again. All right. And I'm going to have to go back because there's a lot to know about the Jackie Robinson Museum and Jackie Robinson himself. There's a lot to read. You'll see all kinds of memorabilia. It's a great thing. It's right here in New York City. It's in the lower part of Manhattan. And so those of you who live in Manhattan, get a chance to go out there this weekend. Those of you, some people may be visiting New York. All right. Make that part of your trip. And I guarantee you'll love it. It's the Jackie Robinson Museum. Look it up on the internet, Google it, and you'll get the address, you'll get the location where it is. You'll get also directions on how to get there. Just Google it. Okay, and so therefore, Black History Month, you have that. And then, of course, you have movie-related things. You have shows related to Black history, all kinds of things. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of happenings. And if you know any, across the country in your area, let us know where we can go to visit these places. Ryan mentioned it earlier. I didn't mention it when he mentioned it, but yes, Raquel Welch, a veteran actress who rose to fame from the 1960s and did films such as 1,000,000 Years BC and Fantastic Voyage and a lot of other great movies. As a matter of fact, he mentioned Rifles with Jim Brown. She was in that movie too. She died Wednesday morning in Los Angeles after a brief illness. Raquel Welch did that movie Rifle, and I remember that movie Rifle, and that was the first according to history, supposed to be the first interracial love scene in Hollywood between Jim Brown and Raquel Welch. Now I'm trying to figure out how that works because Raquel Welch wasn't exactly Caucasian. A lot of people may not know that. She wasn't exactly Caucasian. She was either part or fully Mexican. Her parents were from Mexico, I believe. I believe from Mexico. Anyway, so that was a great movie, Rifles, and a lot of other great movies you see of Raquel Welch. I didn't know her. I got to spend some time with her. And the time that I had spent with her, we sat together and we had a good time talking to each other. It was great. She was a very cordial person. And I don't get to talk to Hollywood people that much, only because of the fact, and I've said this 100 times before, is that I'm not really that fond of Hollywood people. And there's a reason for that for me, which I won't get into. That's another show. But I handpick people that I don't mind being around with, and Raquel Welch was one of them. And I love people who are very cordial, people who are very grounded. They don't let their careers go to their heads, and they're very grounded, nice to other people, and things like that. And those are the kind of people I surround myself with. So Raquel Welch, she came to the radio station I was working at one time. And I remember I was an engineer on one of the shows, and she had walked into the studio. This gorgeous creature walks into the studio, in my studio. She just walks in. She doesn't knock on the door. Why should she knock? She's Raquel Welch. She just walks in the door, and she says to me, she says, Frank, I would love if you would record the show for me and make a copy of it, so I can, cassette copy. And she says, if you do that, I'll give you my autograph. And I said, it's no problem. No problem. I will record it for you. I grabbed the tape, I recorded it. I said, but you don't have to worry about the autograph. Don't worry about that. Because I'm not an autograph kind of a guy. Not really. I'm not really an autograph kind of a guy. I didn't tell her that. And she gave it to me anyway. So I accepted it. I have it somewhere in my apartment somewhere. I don't know. But she was one of a kind, a great actress. She was supposed to be, or she was the epitome of sex, the sex symbol in Hollywood. And we're gonna miss her. We're gonna miss her. And she aged very well. She died at the age of 82 years old. She aged very well. And unbelievable, Raquel Welch. We also know about those mass shootings. Oh my God. Now, you heard about the mass shootings out in Michigan, right? Michigan State College. 3 died, 2 were wounded. They're still in the hospital recovering, and hopefully, they'll be out of there. And so far, I didn't hear anything of the decline of their health at this particular time. So as far as I know right now, the 5 that were wounded are going to be survivors, are going to be okay. But the 3 that we lost, 3 students that they lost, one was Ariel Anderson, Brian Fraser, and Alexandria Verner. And these 3 were shot and killed. And something, the thing about it, some of the students at this college had witnessed 2 mass shootings, and some of them survived them all. And I can't imagine how these kids feel. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of help available to them for their mental health, Because, to witness something like that or be a part of something like that, I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't fathom the thought of that. But for the survivors, that some survived, but those are the only three that we lost, the only three. And there were three too many. There were just three too many people who died. That's a lot of people. Three is a lot of people. One is a lot of people. The university, also the attorney, right? The Attorney General of Michigan, her name is Dana Nessel. Dana Nessel has two sons that attends the institution. They survived. Everything's okay. They survived. Of course, naturally, as a parent, she worried about it when it happened, but she got in touch with her sons. They were okay. And she just asked their sons just to come home, but their sons declined and say they're going to stay on campus. In other words, they're going to stay on their dorms, stay in their dorms. But these are brave kids, coming up in college, and I know what it is like to be a college student, because coming up when I was a kid, it was school was supposed to be a safe haven. When I was a little boy, my mom used to take me to school. It wasn't that far away. It was either down the block or across the street. And once she got me into the building, she didn't have to worry about anything like that. Any parent that had kids at that age, when I was growing up, they took their kids and they got them into the building and they never had to worry about it. They went off to work, they went back home or wherever they have to go, and they didn't have to worry about it because school was a safe haven. School was a safe haven because the teachers were there. They were taking care of business. They were watching the kids. They were your parents while your parents were away. And of course, at the end of the school day, parents pick you up, knowing that their kids are going to be okay. And then when I was old enough to go to school by myself, make a junior high school, middle school, even high school and college, when I went to these institutions, college and high school, no one had to worry. There was no worries. There was no worries. You go on campus, you go into your buildings, you go to your class. There were no worries. When I reached college, no worries. When I put my foot on campus, no worries. There were security guards all over the place. Obviously, teachers not going to be responsible for you in college because you're an adult. You're responsible for yourself, but still at the same time, you have security, and of course, they still look out for your well-being at the time. But these days, when you go to these schools, there are schools that provide the institutions with things like metal detectors, and some kids, they smuggle guns in. And I remember growing up, a lot of you could enter the school, all the doors were open. If you had to go in, the back doors, the front doors, the side doors, they were all open. These days, they have to close certain doors. They can't keep the back doors open anymore. They can't keep the side doors anymore. Maybe only for exit purposes, like when they have fire drills and things like that. Everything is at the front entrance, and I'm pretty sure once you come to the front entrance, some schools you have to go through a metal detector. Everything is metal detectors now. They don't trust institutions, not only institutions. When it gets to the point when you can't even go to your place of worship, without feeling safe. And because you heard the stories like that, shootings in synagogues and churches and other places and mosques, all of these places, they look for people on Sunday morning or Saturday morning, or whatever, or you go to your synagogue on a Saturday morning, or you go to your church on a Sunday morning, or the mosque. Whenever they open, you would think that it's a safe haven, which is supposed to be a safe haven. Your house is supposed to be a safe haven. People are breaking into houses and killing people in the middle of the night while they sleep. I mean, you saw what happened to Paul Pelosi, right? While his wife was away in San Francisco, California, some cornball, crazy guy, breaks into the house and holds him up and knocks him out. He winds up in the hospital in his own home, So it's not safe anywhere, even though they have cameras all over the places. You know, and there's not a place you can walk in the streets without being monitored, because we're all being monitored. The reason why we're being monitored is because of the fact is that they want to make sure people are safe. But sometimes a lot of people say, you know, this is too much. These cameras all over the place. People are freaking out about their own TV sets, thinking that that little red light, which, by the way, that little red light that you see lit up is for the remote control. You press your remote control to that light and it turns on your TV, turns off your TV. But people have this idea is that we're being monitored. I'm not convinced of that just yet. I'm not gonna take it off the table, but I'm not convinced of it just yet. But people are thinking that I'm being monitored. People who own things like these voices, like Alexa, right? You tell Alexa, you give her a command, you turn off the lights, turn on the TV, you know, turn down the radio, grab me a beer. Well, she's not going to do that. You know, things like that on command. They say that I was told that you can be monitored through that, you know. So I don't know. I think Alexa, is that the right name? Alexa, turn off the TV, Alexa. You know, turn down the radio, turn off the lights, turn on the lights. You know, I think for the lights, if anything else, I'm going to use a clapper. Use a clapper. But Alexa is fine. You know, if you want to go that route. But they understand that they could monitor. They can monitor you. You know, they have these videos. You know, now in your home, you don't know who was living there before you, right? Unless you build your own home. You know, but if you, let's say, move into an apartment that someone occupied before, you don't know. Hey, you wonder, are they cameras set up? You know, I have this paranoid thing about sometimes, I'm not too paranoid about it, but I think about it a lot. You know, every bathroom, when you're going into the shower, every bathroom has those vents, those bathrooms, air vents, right? Who knows? Is there a camera behind that? I'm not that. I just, whatever. The point is that even if you go to businesses, you go to big businesses, you see cameras all over the places. And there's nowhere, as I said, there's nowhere you can go without being recorded. You are being recorded no matter where you go. People have cell phones. People are not likely to commit as many crimes as they do before because people are opening their cell phones. People are being policed until the police arrive by taking these videos, and which is a good thing, by the way. And you want to make sure that you're safe. And people are taking their cell phones and just recording things. And if you see something that doesn't look right, people take out their cell phones and record them because they want to make sure that they're safe, even if they're not targets of anything. If someone else is, like, say, for instance, is being dragged by the police, you don't know why they're being dragged by the police. First of all, they shouldn't be dragged by the police at all, but you don't know. And you wonder. So you take out your phone, people are taking out their phones and they're recording all of these things. And in case anything escalates any further, they have all the documents. So everyone is being recorded. Everyone is being recorded. So we send our thoughts out to the people over in Michigan, and hope everything is going to be fine. And of course, you already heard about the earthquake in Turkey. Whoa, wow. It's a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening in Turkey. Do you know they're still cleaning up the rubble over there? They're still fishing people out. People have been in there under the ground for days, and they're still pulling people out of those rubbles. I mean, tall buildings collapse. People are under them. And it's amazing how a lot of people survive. Of course, the death toll went up like sky high, but there are people that are still surviving. People are still surviving, still people under the rubble, still breathing, and they're fishing them out of there. You know, so there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on. Anyway, you're tuned to the Coffee Hour, and just in case you're just joining us, my name is Frank Allan, and I'm going to be with you for a few more minutes. We're going to be here to the top of the hour. I hope that you stay here with us. because we have more things to talk about. And if you'd like to join in on the conversation, or if you like to say something or add something to what I was talking about, please feel free. I'll see you right there on the big screen. I'll entertain that thought, because this is a place of free exchange, ideas of an opinion. And that's how we do things around here. I mentioned earlier, DJ Pete is under the weather today, so he won't be with us. He won't be with us today. So he left us, he was kind enough to leave us his information for today. Now, what DJ Pete does, he gives us entertainment news, and he recites all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. So he's not here with us. We hope you feel better, Pete, if you're watching. He may be in bed watching, taking it easy. We hope you feel better. We'll catch you back here next week, hopefully. But this is what he left for us today. We'll start with this one. Billy Jack Wills, brother of Bob Wills. All right, now we got to find out, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know who Billy Jack Wills is or Bob Wills, but we're going to find out. Billy Jack Wills was born on February 26th. That's coming up. February 26th in 1926. Okay, there's a little chime for him. So let's see. Let's check out Billy Jack Wills. Billy Jack Wills is a Western swing drummer, bass player, singer, and band leader, perhaps most famous for writing the lyrics to the song Faded Love. Oh, I remember that song. I didn't know he did that. Faded Love. Faded Love. I think it's all coming back to me now. Anyway, he's celebrating a birthday today. So I don't think it doesn't say here, because you don't want to bury no one if they're here, right? I'm pretty sure if we could find other ways, if he's still around with us. He was born in 1926. People still live a long time, but it doesn't say here. I don't have it here on record. If DJ Pete is watching, maybe he'll give that information another time. But so Billy Jack Wills celebrates his birthday today, and we have more coming up right now. We move right along. And who else do we have here? Also on the 26th, February 26th, also celebrating a birthday on the 26th, Fats Domino. Only this time, he was born in 1928, so he's a bit younger. He's 2 years younger than Billy Jack Wills. Fats Domino. I could talk about Fats Domino off the top of my head. Fats Domino, of course, was famous in the 1950s, rock and roll of the 1950s. And he did so many great hits like Blueberry Hill, and he did backup pianos for various groups and artists. He did Blueberry Hill, Walking to New Orleans, and then I'm Walking, and all of those great sounds that he did back in the 50s. I was proud to be one of the disc jockeys to play his records. And I had my oldies show Music Beat at the time, which has since been retired. But it was always a pleasure to play his records. And I always known him because he went back all the way back to the 1950s when he recorded on the Imperial label. And of course, he passed away October 24th in 2017 at the age of 89 years old. Fats Domino. We call him the Fat Man from New Orleans. That's where he's from. New Orleans, Louisiana. Johnny Cash is also celebrating a birthday on the 26th. He was born in 1932, so they get a little younger here, 1932. And Johnny Cash, I could talk about him at the top of my head, but I'm going to use some references as well. Johnny Cash was a country singer. He had his own TV show. He was an actor. He did that show he did his own variety show, and he recorded that tune "Ring of Fire," which was, by the way, written for him by his wife June. "Ring of Fire," because and she wrote that song strictly for him, because Johnny Cash was going through some bad times. I mean, bad time, drug addiction, and all of these other things, all of these other aggravating things. He lost a brother in his early years. You know, he watched his brother die in the early years. And there's a movie biography that depicts that in the movie. So Johnny Cash, he was born on this day, passed away September, not on this day, but on the 26th. So his birthday is coming up pretty soon. He died September 12th, 2003. He was 71 years old. That's a young man in this day and age. Johnny Cash. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I love that song that he did. They call him Sue. And I'm coming after you. A boy named Sue. That was the name of that song. But he did so many great songs. Hey, guess who else was born on the 26th? Jackie Gleason. How sweet it is. He was born, Jackie Gleason, though, was born in 1916. And Jackie Gleason, everybody knows him. I don't have to tell you, he was from the Honeymooners. He had his show, The Honeymooners. He had a Jackie Gleason show that used to come on Saturday nights with Crazy Guggenheimer, who was portrayed by Frank Fontaine. And all of the characters that he had with Audrey Meadow, Art Carney, and Joyce Randolph on The Honeymooners. And Jackie Gleason, he's got a birthday. He had a birthday coming up, and it's going to be on the 26th as well. And Jackie Gleason died June 24th in 1987, and he was also 71 years old. And the Honeymooners, by the way, it's never going to die. It's here to stay. They're all in reruns, especially when it comes to the holidays. When they have the Thanksgiving holidays and the Christmas holidays, they have those marathons. I believe it was basically the New Year holiday, New Year's Day. They usually have those marathons with the Jackie Gleason marathon, which is not as long as a Twilight Zone marathon, but they usually have the Jackie Gleason marathon. And but they're still, even when they don't have the marathons, they still have the reruns that you could see. I believe they may run them on Antenna TV. I'm not sure. And one of those oldie TV stations, Antenna TV, or maybe Me TV, I don't know. But you can catch them anywhere. Jackie Gleason, The Honeymooners. And if you're really in a hurry to see an episode, go on YouTube. They're all there. They're all right there. We move along, and let's see, what else we have here? Okay, the 27th of February, 1932, Elizabeth Taylor was born on that day. And Elizabeth Taylor, she would have been celebrating her birthday. And Elizabeth Taylor, the famous actress, she was married to, how many times was she married? 7 times, 8 times, 7 times, I think she was married. And I'm not going to mention all of her husbands because that's too many. I don't have that kind of a time in the show. But I do know she was married to Eddie Fisher, and she was married to Richard Burton, who I believe that was the true love of her life, because they married twice, I believe, right? So, and she was married, 7, 8 times she was married. So what is she? If she was married 8 times, wouldn't that make her Elizabeth the 8th I am? Anyway, Elizabeth Taylor, well-known actress. She played in those early movies, some with Mickey Rooney. I mean, she did that thing with Mickey Rooney, National Velvet. She did that movie with Spencer Tracy, Father of the Bride, back in 1950. And she passed away March 23rd in 2011 at the age of 79 years old, Elizabeth Taylor. And just these great movies that she done. And did she also do Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? She was also in that movie, wasn't she? Was that Elizabeth Taylor? I believe that was Elizabeth Taylor. I believe so. If not, I stand to be corrected, and I'm pretty sure someone will correct me. And February 29th, 1916, Dinah Shore. Now, Dinah Shore, I can talk about all of these people. I remember them. DJ Pete may not remember these people. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's familiar with them, but I go back when they had their own shows. I remember Dinah Shore had her show back in the 1950s called the Dinah Shore Chevy Show. She was sponsored by Chevrolet. And it was the Dinah Shore Chevy, the Dinah Shore Chevy Show. And she used to be the voice of the Chevrolet. See the USA in your Chevrolet. Her real name was Frances Rose Shaw. That was her given name, Frances Rose Shaw. She died February 24th, 1994, at the age of 77 years old. Also, a well-known fact, too, that we all know, is nothing to hide about that. But before she died, she had a I don't know if you call it an affair, because I don't know if he was married at the time, a carnal relation with Burt Reynolds. You know, she was going out, but when she was a beautiful woman, and when she was younger, she, even as she gotten older, you know, she looked great. And she used to sing duets with Frank Sinatra and other people, Ella Fitzgerald. And she had her own show, as I said. And a lot of these people had their own variety shows back in the 50s, you know. And finally, here we go, March 1st, 1904. Would be celebrating Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller, of course, he was the musician that goes back in the swing era. He had the trombone, and Glenn Miller, he passed away. Well, you know something, Glenn Miller disappeared. They say the word disappeared. They don't say pass away in his case, because they never found his body to this day. According to legend, he never found his body. He just disappeared. I think he went up in a plane and never found him. Never came down. Probably brought up in a rapture or something, you know. But anyway, that was the year 1944 when he disappeared. December 14th, 1944, at the age of 40 years old. Now, where he was headed, I don't know. He could have been headed to a gig or something like that. But anyway, Glenn Miller was known for his swing era, and he had a lot of people singing with him in his orchestra. He had Frank Sinatra singing in his orchestra, and a lot of people. So Glenn Miller would have been celebrating his birthday. It's not yet, but it would be March 1st. Glenn Miller. So there you have it. And so I believe that covers everything. So we want to thank DJ Pete for all of that. DJ Pete, by the way, who has a radio show that you can check out. We always check it out. You can catch him on www.radio-airwave.co.uk. And you can catch him Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And also you can catch him on his home station over where he lives in over, you know something, I'm getting a blank. All of a sudden I'm getting a blank. Anyway, okay, Portland, Maine, that's where he's from. He lives in Portland, Maine, his hometown, Portland, Maine, and you can catch him on his hometown station at WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. Now, there's no excuse if you don't live in Portland and you can't pick up the radio station. Most radio stations have websites, and you can pick it up all around the world. Go to www.wmpg.org, and you can check them out every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. all times, Eastern time zone, and US and Canada. So there you go, DJ Pete. And again, I hope he's feeling better. I hope you are feeling better, DJ Pete, and hope we'll catch you back here next week. I have some birthdays of my own who are celebrating birthdays here. Actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt, remember him? He was a young kid at the time. He played in Third Rock from the Sun, right? That comedy. Well, he's 42 today. I can't believe how time goes fast. You know who else is 42? Paris Hilton, celebrating a birthday. She's 42 today. Actress Kelly Clarkson is 47 years old today. Kelly Clarkson has her own show on TV. We already know about her, a great singer. I used to play her records too. Actress Denise Richards is 52. Actress Tuesday Night, that's her name. Tuesday Night is 54. Actress Tuesday Night here on a Friday morning is 54 years old today. Happy birthday, Tuesday Night. Let's see. Shantae Moore. Actress Shantae Moore is 56. Actor Lou Diamond Phillips is 61 today. Lou Diamond Phillips, he's best known for his movie when he played Richie Valens. Remember? La Bamba, right? He's best known for that movie. Actress Renee Russo is 69 today. Singer Dodie Stevens, I played her records a lot at that time. She's 77 years old today. The late Huey P. Newton, a Black activist, would have been 81 today. Singer Gene Pitney would have been 83. Actress Christina Pickles, who was known for her acting abilities and St. Elsewhere. Also, it starred Denzel Washington. She's 88 years old today. The late actor Allan Bates would have been 89, and finally, jazz musician, the late Buddy DeFranco would have been 100 years old. So happy birthday, all of you, and many, many more for those of you who are still around with us. Listen, if you want to get in touch with me personally, you could do that. All you have to do is contact me by email, or you can call me, right? So my email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. If you have anything to say, if you want to critique the show, you want to ask something about the show, why we're here, what are we doing here, or whatever, I have the answers for you. All you have to do is just tune in and also chime in and give us that, and call us or email us. Give you the email address one more time. That's Frank Allen Prod. Be sure to spell Allen, A-L-L-A-N. A-L-L-A-N. Frank Allen Prod, P-R-O-D. That stands for Productions. Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allen Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number once again is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. And of course, we look forward to hearing from you. And any questions that you may have about anything, of course, we will be obliged. It's time for me to give you those movies that we talk about all the time. Now, if you are into those classic movies, well, I have some for you to add to your bucket list of movies to watch, because a lot of you guys want to catch up on movies, and the weekend is all of yours, providing you don't have to work. You want to take time to do whatever you want on the weekend, and that may be one of the things to do is catch up on some movies. So I have some I want to add to your bucket list up to watch. 1976, Sparkle, starring Philip Michael Thomas and Irene Cara. You can catch that Saturday at 12 p.m. noontime on Turner Classic Movies. That's a great, and it provides movies, and I think you like it. It's a great storyline too on it. You also have In the Heat of the Night from 1967, starring Rod Steiger and Sidney Poitier, also on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. Also on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Here's another one. This dates back to 1955. This is a black and white, and I'm pretty sure you appreciate black and white movies. I'll Cry Tomorrow, starring Susan Hayward and Richard Conte. And you can check that out. It's also on Turner Classic Movies. However, this comes on Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And of course, you could watch it at that time too, after you come back from church. And finally, Up the Downstairs Case from 1967, starring Sandy Dennis. Those words right, Sandy Dennis. Also on Turner Classic Movies, it's on Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Now, if you don't get a chance to see these movies in real time, you know what time they come on. I already told you, you can DVR them. Also, you can go on Turner Classic Movies, and you could also check out for yourself other movies that I didn't mention, but weren't my picks. You might find something that you like. And all you have to do is go on Turner Classic Movies and scroll down to the program guide, and you'll see some of those. And also go and see the newer movies, the older movies on demand. They're all right there. So let me run these down to you once again. Sparkle with Philip Michael Thomas and Irene Cara. That's Saturday, Turner Classic Movies at 12 p.m. Eastern. The Heat of the Night with Rod Steiger and Sidney Poitier, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll Cry Tomorrow with Susan Haywood and Richard Conte, Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And Up the Down Staircase with Sandy Dennis, Turner Classic Movie, Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. I hope that you will indulge yourself, and I hope that you will like these movies and enjoy them. And I think you will. I gotta go, but I'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Brian Camp with sports on Talkback Live. We'll catch you back here at that time. Other than that, I'll be back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. Ryan Camp will be here with sports, DJ Pete with news of entertainment and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a great weekend and a long extended weekend, and happy President's Day. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allen. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.